Welcome to the Gill podcast. I'm your host, Gill. And this is a space for real conversations to take place. Conversations about identity, about culture, about growth, about learning, unlearning, and about becoming. About becoming the best version of yourself. So not the polished version of yourself, but that messy, human, lived-in version, because that's the only version that I know. So I want to start this first episode not with a topic or any tools or techniques, they will come, but with a story, my story. Because how can I ask you, and before I ask you, to share, reflect and dive deep, I want to be there to meet you first. So I wasn't always thriving. There was a time in my life where everything that I knew, everything that I thought that I could rely on was gone. At 32, I came out of an arranged marriage with nothing, a scratch, no money, no house, not even my children with me. And that was the most painful thing of all. And then for over a decade, I lived in survival mode. Actually, do you know what? To be honest with you, because this is a place for honest conversations, not even just in survival mode, I was in victim mode. You know, that kind of place where you lose your sense of self and life seems to be happening to you and not for you. But I didn't stay there. It took me a long time, but there came a point where I just refused to stay there. And somewhere through the cracks, light started to come in. And I started to build, I started to grow, I started healing. And did this happen perfectly? Did this happen quickly? No, it happened step by step. And then it was only in my 50s, right, that I became a psychotherapist. This is not a therapy podcast, by the way. That I got into modelling, that I got into the property business, and then actually I grew a thriving private practice, which is my baby and which I love. And I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you that if me, a little, girl who was born in a remote little village in India, who had a lot of conditioning, who had an arranged marriage, who, had all of that, and actually, if there was a hard way around to do things, your girl here would find them. If there was a long way around to do things, your girl here would find them. If I can do it, you can do it. And I know we hear that, and you've probably heard that before, but I'm a living, breathing, real life example of that. And I want us to be on this journey together, because I still have goals and aspirations and, things that I want to achieve. So in the last decade, what changed? I started to write a new story. My narrative changed, because I firmly believe that the story you tell yourself is who you become. And does the past still have a voice in my life? Yes. It still echoes in my relationships, in my boundaries, in my beliefs. But what it does not get to do now is to dictate my worth. What it does not get to do is to dictate my future. So if any of this resonates with you, if you've had your own season, your own version of loss, silence, invisibility, despair, feeling stuck and not having a direction, then this podcast is for you. But I want you to hear this also very clearly. You are not alone, and it's never too late to come home to yourself. I want this place to be a space for you. It's a space for me, it's a space for us. It's a space to have those conversations, that we were never taught to have, but we deeply need. So if any of this resonates with you, if you're feeling this vibe, then like, subscribe, follow. And if you have a story to tell, or if you know someone else who does, that we can all learn from, grow from, that you can share, then I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line and let's have a conversation. And I'll be dropping these episodes on the 1st of every month. The next one will be on June the 1st, which is when we shall begin this journey together. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you then. And in the meantime, I want to leave you with something. until we meet again on June the 1st, I want you to lead with love, and I would offer that you approach everyone and everything, including yourself, with curiosity, with a view to understand.